Hi there. Sorry I'm late. We're just waiting on that sound check from the sound chick over there. And we have a thumbs up. Okay, so we are here. I apologize for being late. That was 100% my fault. Yeah, there's that. So Web Presence Wednesday. Normally what we do is we bash over your head about how you should have your own digital real estate. And yes, you should absolutely have your own digital real estate. You should be endeavoring to create your own websites, whether you're using a free service or you are using a paid service. It really is irrelevant. You need to start opening up more methods of communication with your customer bases. This is painfully evident if you've ever been the subject of a Facebook ban. So with that being said, do yourself a favor and get yourself your own personal website set up. You can go on to WordPress, get it for free, and then upgrade later. Get your name locked in so that this way you can then create your website without worrying about, oh, do I have to change the domain name? Is it going to be weird now? You just want to get all that stuff set up beforehand before it becomes a problem. Thank you, Donna.
You're welcome, Harry.
And thank you for the thumbs up, Amy. I'm sure you're out there in Facebook land. I have Donna and I both have websites. Didactic.space. That's Diana's website for her radio player and like her web aggregate. The network mma.wordpress.com. And the network is really something that's like in high demand. So hi, Danny DeMarco. We had to go with MMA, which is Marketing Management Associates is what that really stands for. Not mixed martial arts. We don't beat people up here at the network, though sometimes I feel like it. The Sacred Agora is the Sacred Agora because we acted fast. My personal website where I was doing all my writing and stuff like that, this is how old I am. I got my entire name. There you go. myilmt.com. Now, this was one that I had gotten last year, and I was going for just ilmt.com, and I had to add that my in there because of the whole it being taken. Ta-da! It's very imperative. Thank you very much, Donna. To get your digital real estate together, get your game going before it ends up becoming more complicated than it needs to be. And that's really the important part about this is not so much doing it for your pride or anything like that, but in the instance where Facebook becomes inaccessible for a period of time, if your customers can't access you any other way than Facebook, well, then you are up shit's creek without a paddle. And that's the long and short of it. That's the real reason. It's not because you post controversial stuff like me and get banned for 30 days at a clip. It's because your Facebook could go down. Facebook may not be permanent. It has been a fixture for
It's had its
22 years, pretty much. But at this point, it's not necessary that we're going to see it go away, but it might, and it's not necessarily something that's like on a timer, but it may change to something that you can't take advantage of anymore, or is generally not as useful as newer things that you can't access or you can't use properly. Specifically talking about the whole meta setup with the VR and stuff like that. If you are not someone who's capable of doing that kind of stuff, or working in that kind of space, or imprinting your stuff on that kind of space, well, then you are pretty much up shit's creek without a paddle again. And you really need to make sure that your customers know how to reach you outside of social media. Of course, set up redundant social media accounts. Have your Facebook, your Instagram, your MeWe's, and all that other fucking shit. Your floats, your whatever the fuck else.
Yeah,
Mines.
all of them. Mines.
Set up on all of them for your business, of course. Advertise across all of them,
Use it as a funnel.
because the wider net that you cast, the more fish you catch. But you have to remember, they all have to go to the boat. There's the analogy right there. The boat's your website. It's not your Facebook page. It's not because you ultimately you do not control any of these things. So, in essence, you need to bring these people to a place where you have control over the environment, what they see, what they can look at, and what will keep their attention. And over the last couple of weeks, I've been talking about keeping people's attention on your website and getting them to stay longer in order to become conversions. And I know it sounds very clinical the way I speak about it, but your customers, unless they buy something, they are not a conversion. They are not really a customer as far as the lingo is concerned. The minute they convert, the minute they hand you money for something, is the minute that they are your customer and have invested in you, and therefore you can invest more time in cultivating that relationship with them. You'll have 1,000 people hit your website a day, and if one person spends money, is it better to spend all of your time on the 999 people that come by for 20 seconds and leave? Or is it more important to spend your time and your energy cultivating that one person who's already spent money? Well, studies show that if someone spends money on your website, they are 70% more likely to do it again. All they have to have is a good experience, not a great experience, not an excellent experience, just a good experience, just I spent money, I got exactly what I asked for when I asked for it. Nothing exemplary, and you have a 70% chance of reselling to that person again. So those are the relationships you want to cultivate, because the more of a relationship you cultivate, that 70% becomes a 90%, becomes 100%. Where they are a dedicated conversion. They are a dedicated customer to you, and nothing's going to steal that customer from you as long as you have that personal connection. If that person feels like that you care about them, well, then they are going to care, regardless if someone comes by with a slightly better deal or what have you. They're going to go, yeah, but I use such and such, and therefore I'm going to keep buying from such and such. On the other hand, if you have a shitty relationship with your customers, they are going to seek out other solutions to their problems, and that's just the way it is. So that's life on the internet. I know in the message boards, trolling is king, but in the real world of the internet, where you're doing business, it is customer service that's king. You don't get very far if you open a business online and you treat your customers, your conversions, like crap.
I think so.
And Donna agrees with me, so I must be right.
Yeah. I mean, for instance, there's a brand of clothing that I've bought multiple of. You know, these dresses, for example. I like the quality of them, and they actually are, you know, better than actually expected. That I expected. So yeah, the first dress that I bought, I enjoyed. It was really worth the money that I paid for it, and it goes to a good cause. And so therefore, you know, just a few minutes looking at their website, not their storefront, but their website, it was easy for me to see that I was going to buy something, you know, and I've bought four or so dresses from that particular company, and I haven't really perused many other companies, so I'm pretty set on this particular brand, and I like it. So you just got to you don't even really have to exceed people's expectations.
Just meet them.
Just meet them. Yeah, exactly. And you'll find that, you know, people will leave good reviews. And that's important as well. You know, because potential clients or customers will see these reviews. And that will also determine if they're going to, you know, be won over, you know, and you know, convert those sales to.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's the particular thing. Like everyone seems to think that, well, I have to give the best sales experience possible, and that's not even the case. 9 times out of 10, you just have to make the bare minimum for someone to want to come back and buy from you, because of the fact that the internet is rife with corporate interests that don't give a flying fuck about their conversions. Really, let's be quite honest here. You go to Amazon, and Amazon's customer service is not stellar, right? And when you have a problem with Amazon, the only reason why you go back is because there's a 75% chance that Amazon's just going to issue a refund and call it a day. But that's the expectation, and that's the reason why people, well, besides them being like the biggest game in town, that's the reason why people go back. But people go back to specific brands on Amazon because of the fact that those brands reach out as well. The retailer that I bought the kilt off of actually responded, reached out to me for a review of the product and a review of the quality of the service and what have you. And that's beyond what I'm really even talking about. But it sticks with you. You know, well, these guys actually, you know, give a shit about selling their product, so they probably give a shit about their product. And the kilt I bought is exceptionally good quality. So for the price, I mean.
Another great example of just one of those individuals that has gone up and above beyond is Aaron McKinney. Yeah.
Nope.
He I'm going to shout him out in a way. It's not Tuesday, but you know, I'm going to shout him out because he's an excellent representative of his company and that he works for. You know, we buy equipment from him from Sweetwater, and you know, just dealing with him pretty much, you know, solidified that.
Absolutely. Like the first time I reached out to Sweetwater to buy something, what was I buying?
One of the amps, I believe.
No, it was before the orange amp.
The PV amp?
Was it the PV amp,
I believe.
or was it?
It's either the PV.
It had to be the
yeah,
PV.
Yeah.
Yeah, my my bass amp that's sitting behind this thing here that you can't see because
The cats.
the camera.
Yeah.
My 150 amp, my 150 watt amplifier for my bass. I had shopped around. Sweetwater had the best price. I ordered it, and the next day I get this phone call from this guy named Aaron Kinney. I don't know who the fuck this guy is, from a hole in the wall. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm your Sweetwater rep, and I'm just here to make sure that you get everything that you need, and blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh well, thanks," and super knowledgeable, also a bass player, so it was. It was a good experience, and then when we bought the orange amp, he actually called us to confirm that we wanted an orange amp.
Yes.
Which obviously question answered. But my most recent purchase from Sweetwater was the 6-string Ibanez Geo that I had bought, which is right there.
Mhm.
That big old.
It's beautiful.
And I was actually told that they were not going to have them until November some point in time, and that I was basically going to be, that's when I would be able to buy one if I wanted one of those. I was kind of bummed out, and then the next day, Aaron calls me while I'm at work, and he's like, "Hey, I got this, and I wanted to make sure that you want it." I was like, yeah. That's that. And he went and he took pictures of it in the hallway in Sweetwater. I have them. He mailed them to me. He was like, "I want to make sure that you're happy with it. Here are the pictures."
And see, and that's the thing. They didn't even have to go to that extent. We just ordered the thing off the internet, off their website, which was easy to navigate and find what you were looking for. And we were pretty happy with what we were expecting as far as the usual customer service. But that just promised that repeat business, going above and beyond like that. So those little things do count.
Absolutely.
Everything from navigating your digital real estate, making sure it's not overpopulated with a lot of flash and confusion, and all these things add up. They end up, having repeat customers,
Right.
repeat clients, people coming back to your website,
and
looking at your content.
a thing that is a reality across the board with almost everything. Keep it simple, stupid is in full effect when it comes to website construction. When it comes to pretty much everything, like when I talk to people about music, I explain to them. I'm like, the simplest melodies are the ones people remember. You could have this crazy wild thing, and everyone will be like, "Ooh, ah," but no one will ever remember it. They'll remember little tiny licks, and 99% of the time, those little tiny licks that they remember from all those great solos are the slowest parts, the very simplest melodies, very simplest rhythms.
One note.
And the same goes true for your website. It's the simplicity that you can oh, for fuck's sake, come on. Just pick a spot to be.
The glowing cat.
I did. I picked everywhere.
She's on a mission to blind me.
Fuck's sake, cat. Okay, she's gone. Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Hi. Don't mind the chaos here.
Anywho, what was I saying? Keep it simple. Basically, you want to be able to showcase what you're doing, of course, and if what you're doing is a little more complicated, you have to be able to figure out what is the least amount that I can show and still get the point across. And that's really the point, because yeah, sure, showing people a lot of stuff, what is it really going to do? If anybody here has anxiety of any sort, you know what's going to happen. You're going to look at the site and you're going to and be overwhelmed, and that's going to be the end of your experience. You're going to be like, oh, there's too many choices. It's the reason why
so
when
many flashing gifts and ads and banners, and you don't want to overwhelm people.
right, and you know, once you overwhelm people, that's it. You pretty much lost that conversion, because they're going to get stressed out just trying to go back to your website. You know, and that's an important factor you have to put into the whole scenario. There is, you can't just decide, well, I want to throw everything blarg on my homepage, and someone who's looking for widget type A doesn't need to see the full 26 widget type collection. And that's important. Focus your web page on widgets in total, in that type of sense. You don't need to list everything, because there are menus and there are pages that you can direct people to from their homepage to filter out all of the extra stuff that they don't need to see, they don't want to see.
Categorize them by parent page and child page. There, as far as your website goes, it's pretty simple, but that way you're not overwhelming everyone, and it's easier to find. I got a chase cat.
A perfect example of this is if anyone has gone to a website to get a recipe, and I have to say this is a frustration that I've had myself, because I will go for like a basic recipe for me to work with in developing something for a menu, and I have to read about some middle-aged woman's when she was 16, traveling, backpacking through Europe, and she met Esteban from the mountains of Spain or some shit like that. And well, she's got to wait till I'm off, or you got to take over. So, we have company. We're live, Mom. My mother's here.
Child abuse.
To talk about getting a guitar from my nephew. So anyway, let me get back to the story. So basically, you got to dig through like 3 pages worth of a story about someone's backpacking trip through Europe, finding these delicious mushrooms that they only found in there, that you can find pretty much everywhere else in the fucking world, to get a message, get a recipe for a fucking consomme. And everyone is annoyed by it. Everyone knows it's annoying. So just don't do it on your website. It's the same thing that happens with YouTube videos. Like, you go to a YouTube video that's going to give you information, and then the dude sits there and goes, I'm about to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. We're going to talk about this. And then they get off the topic for about 20 minutes. And then they come back, give you that one piece of information that took a whole minute to fucking give you, and then repeat themselves like 4 times. And at this point, I think we all are on the understanding that we don't need that.
Yeah.
Especially if you are trying to make conversions with your business. And with that, I'm going to go.
Bye, guys.
So keep it simple and get your digital real estate together. Have a great day, everybody. And
Toodles.
bye.